Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Labyrinth of Limitations. I'm going to share with you today some of my process of how I get familiar with a tune. It also kind of serves as a different levels kind of video, or different levels of learning a song. Because that's how I approach it. I start kind of simple, get the big picture, and then go deeper and deeper and deeper. So we're looking at the bridge of Girl from Ipanema, which has some odd things in it that I've been having a lot of fun exploring. So I'm going to start in G flat major. To B7. And then it goes to G flat minor 7. To D7. And then it goes G minor 7. To E flat 7. And then it does a turnaround. So there's some complicated elevator motion I was doing there. But it's just a turnaround. It just goes C major to D7 and then G to C7. So it goes G to C, and then just a little turnaround back to F. So some wacky stuff at the beginning of this in particular. So let's look at the simplest way to look at or go up our levels, okay? So simplest way to find motion harmonically with this is to think, well, if I have G flat major going to B7, you know what that could be? That could just be G flat major to G flat minor, 6 chords. Because G flat minor, do you see why? It's because it's a 6 on the 5 for B7, right? So in my episode Substitutions, episode 2, I talk about this. I talk about it throughout this channel. And, Chris over at his wonderful Things I Learned from Barry Harris talks all about this. Barry in so many videos over at the wonderful Barry Harris videos channel. You can see a lot of those. Talking all about this. So B7, raise the root up, becomes C diminished. Raise it up one more, it becomes the 5th of a minor 6 chord. And that minor 6 chord is, here's the root, G flat. And G flat is a 5th above B, so we call it the minor 6 on the 5 because of that. But really the way to understand it is that we transform between it and the dominant 7th by moving that note up. That's how Barry really taught it. So I'm going to go, and I'm already going to have fun with that. Then you know what? For the next part, I can do the same thing. And then I can do the same thing a half step up from there. All right. So what I did there is I'm playing G flat major 6, which is the first chord of the bridge, into G flat minor 6, which is the 6 and a 5 for B7. And the next chord of the song is F, is G flat minor 7, and that's the same thing as A major 6. So this is the same thing. And then the next chord is D7. Well, A minor 6 is the 6 on the 5 for that. And then it goes to G minor 7. And G minor 7 is the same thing as B flat major 6. And then B flat minor 6. So it's just the same motion, up a minor third, then up a half step. So that's just, I'm just playing G flat minor 6 with some elevator stuff. And then I gotta go up and do the same thing at A major. Sure. And then I'm gonna do the same thing at B flat major. So that's a really simple, you could just have fun enjoying that and just playing different voicings. You know, and the same thing. It's really nice. Now, the next thing to do, before we even look at harmonizing the melody, we can look at how, so this is what we're doing so far is just transposing up. But let's look at how another level, another space to go to would be, let's try to do that all in one area of the guitar. I could pick any area, but I'll stay down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the relationships of these things. And it turns out there's family relationships because they're minor thirds apart. Let me show you what I mean. G flat major 6 to G flat minor 6. Now the next harmony is A major 6, same thing as G flat minor 7. And so I need to know how to get there right here. And I've showed you this before, that's a minor third up, and to go a minor third up, which is staying within the family, I think of the parts of my chord, root, third, fifth, sixth, root, third, fifth, sixth, and I take whatever I'm on. I have the fifth in the bass right here. I'm going to put the third in the bass and form a voicing off of it that's a major 6 chord. So this is my third, and I'm going to go, and there I am. So I go, and I go, now I'm just going to flat that third. Now I'm going to need to go to a root in the bass now because I'm going to go backwards. No, this one goes up a half step instead of a minor third up. So this one's easy. I go up a half step and raise my third. So I go. Those are the closest motions. So I go. You see, and now I'm going to go. And I go like that, and then I go up a half step. There's my major 7th on top. That's just getting a little bit of the melodic line out of it. And then I go into the turnaround after that. So that's like the next step, and you could do that at every place. So I was here. So now I can go. So it's just a wonderful way to familiarize yourself with the major 6 and minor 6 chords and to see how they can make things simple. So I'm going to go. And then I'm going to go. Simple things, nothing crazy, and then I get into the turnaround, and so on. So now, staying with that, now let's start to look at the melody. So the melody goes, it's the major 7th, so that's off. I need to know if it's an off or on. I need to know what part of the scale it is. So it's major 7th, root, 6, 5th. But this is going to be in the minor 6 chord scale, but it's the same scale degrees. So it's going to be, so I can harmonize that with anything I want to do. I could have gone like, I'm just leaving that alone for a minute. So. Same thing from here. So right, and then you do the same thing. And then I didn't do that much. The same thing with that melody, and that's C major 6 diminished, so I can harmonize. That's all C major 6 diminished. That's just on, off, on, off, on. C major 6, yeah. And then you get a little flat 5 of the dominant 7 flat 5, so I harmonized it with D dominant 7 flat. That's a little bit more of an advanced move, maybe. If you don't know that scale, it is. And then you go, same thing. Well, see, those are really fun. I go, whoops. Let me try. Pretty stuff. So that's the thing to do, to start studying the notes of your melody and seeing if it's an on or an off in the scale of chords. And then put notes next to it corresponding to that and try to make your voices not jump around, you know? So, and you don't have to do it for every single note. I didn't do it for every single note. See, I could go, So maybe I'll do the first part. So you could go just a little bit of playing around, you know? It's pretty stuff. And then it's nice to set yourself free from the melody to really like play some other things. So, I mean, there's a lot more to say about this because we haven't even talked about the single note scales that you play here, which is really nice. A whole nother thing to get into. So we could do that. Maybe in the next episode, I'll do that on the same thing and kind of connect it together. But just to keep this from going too long, that's a good stopping point. So this is looking at how Barry Harris's ways of conceptualizing harmony can kind of make things a little simpler, because we're just thinking, instead of this kind of strange progression where we expect to go to a dominant 7th, say from the F sharp minor to B7, we expect it to go to B7, but instead it goes F sharp minor 7 or G flat minor 7. It goes to D7, and then it tricks us again, you know, and it goes to, right? It does this funky thing that is really seems more simple if you want to do polyphony, if you do it this way. I also think other scales of chords. I think the dominant 7 flat 5 a lot in this, but these are go-tos. They're really nice, and they blend with each other, these things. So, you know, can't conquer everything in 14 minutes. But yeah, hope that's been fun, and Happy New Year to everybody. This is my first episode of the year, so I'll talk to everybody soon. Okay, keep practicing.